What is up, guys? We are here with the banger cards in Marvel Snap. I know a lot of you guys want to get infinite. We had a video last month sharing some tips. I used to get infinite every month. This time we're going to break it down a little bit more into the depth of the cards. So we're starting out with game changer cards. What I mean by game changer cards is it's not about the deck, it's about how you play these cards, because this is the way you're going to be able to win 4 and 8 cubes with any of these cards in your deck, depending on what your opponent plays. So starting off first, we're going to go with Alioth. Very simple for those who are beginners here. You're going to need priority in order for this one to work, but you're pretty much going to destroy all your opponent's cards' abilities that are played at that location right away. So if somebody's getting excited where they want to do like Living Tribunal to try and buff up a location and go bananas, not going to happen with Alioth. A couple other honorable mentions before I get into just like a top 12 of my own personal preferences. Another card I picked up I like is Red Guardian. Unfortunately, only hits your opponent's lowest power card, but still, if he's got pretty much something there that's just is very annoying, like an ongoing bump, take away that ability. Great card to play on turn 6 and shock your opponent. And now we're going to go into 12 cards that I really enjoy playing here that have helped me get infinite pretty much every season. So one of my favorites, and we're not really going to go in numerical order, we're just going to go cards I kind of like rank. So Spider-Ham is one of my favorite one-cost cards in the game. It pretty much just can take away an opponent's top card. So if they're playing a Hella deck and you bop it with Spider-Ham, Hella's gone. My other favorite thing that not many people talk about is a combo here that is pretty much your peanut butter and jelly. So if you play Spider-Ham, look at that. 0, 0, right? So examine here. What does Shadow King do? Brings it back to its normal power. So let's say your opponent plays, I don't know, let's say we bop Typhoid Mary, who becomes a 4/10 in pig form. They're excited, they lose that ability where all their other cards aren't going to be -1. Oh, wait a second. Here comes Shadow King. Bam, that goes from 10 to 0, which is an incredible combo that not many people talk about. And I love doing that on turn 5 and turn 6. If you're new to Marvel Snap, you're going to want to get to know this guy. Shang Chi pretty much kills any card on your opponent's side in that lane that has 10 or higher cost. However, if they have Cosmo, you will not be able to play this card because that prevents on reveals. And if they have armor, you're not going to be able to kill those cards. Still a great game changer card. When you get more familiar with Marvel Snap, you'll run into a lot of destroy decks. And when you know that you have a good gut feeling that they're going to be playing null in a certain position, you'll be able to make sure you give your opponent priority and then pow, take over that lane instantly with Shang Chi. Couple other shockers. Armor I like too. Pretty much I'll explain more in depth with armor. If you guys are enjoying this, do subscribe to the channel. We do have a lot of more Marvel Snap content for you. And I'll also give you a little peek of the deck I'm using this season that's already helped me climb from level 70 to 93. So armor we like because we like using White Widow. White Widow is not a card here, but White Widow gives your opponent a -4 card, and it gets destroyed if there's 4 cards there. So armor will keep that one at bay. Again, if you're running into a lot of destroy decks, you're going to have a nice safety net here. Deadpool, Nova, all those cards cannot be killed. If you're playing a clog deck like I like to play, they won't be able to kill those one-cost rock cards. Armor's a nice, great, sneaky card. That it's not sneaky, but again, it's a banger card that's going to get you some wins. Because you can even save this for a late turn. Let's say you're playing in Marvel Snap and there's a lane that says this card is destroyed. Well, if nobody can play cards there, you sneak in with armor on turn 6. There you go. And then you can play a 4-cost card somewhere else. We have Rogue, another one who's incredible here. Rogue and Enchantress are both here because they both have a little different flair to them. So what Rogue does is she's going to steal your opponent's ongoing ability. So let's say they have Iron Man there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take that double. Or if Ant-Man's there and you're going to be able to fill a lane, I'm going to take that Ant-Man ability. This is another great banger card just to shake things up. Again, you're going to see a lot of deck strategies on my channel. You're going to see tons of great Marvel Snap players give you their best decks for the season, location, winning percentage. However, if you have one of these cards, it's going to disrupt a lot of that person's strategy. So sometimes it's not about the deck, it's about the cards you have in there. We're also going to go to Killmonger. This is great if you're running into what they call a kazoo deck, which means there's going to be a lot of one-cost cards. Again, if they're not protected by armor or another card that can protect one-cost cards, just slice and dice them all. I've won plenty of times, especially on the beginner track. This is a great card to play on turn 6. Just make sure you don't have your own one-cost cards that aren't protected. because that can happen as well because it kills all 1-cost cards. Notice how they have all in all caps right there. Just to let you know as a reminder if you're new to Marvel Snap. Another one of my favorite cards, Cosmo. So you'll see a lot of people love on reveals, whether you're playing a discard deck, destroy deck, they're going to thrive on those on reveals. Right here, Cosmo is going to say, just like Stone Cold used to say back in the WWF, WWE days. Especially awesome if you run into a guy who's opponent who's playing Wong, because he's going to get double on reveals. Not going to happen with Cosmo there. So a fantastic card to have in your deck. Another great game changer to play on turn 6, just to, again, sneak in a nice win. This is another sneaky card here I enjoy playing. Great to have on, as long as you have priority. You're going to have to play this card first. Then if your opponent plays a card, it's gone. This can backfire sometimes if it's an on reveal, because the reveal will still happen before they perish. What's really cool about this card, though, unless they change it with an update, is let's say you play Negasonic on the far left, okay? And then they play Magneto on the far right. If there is no armor there and Magneto pulls Negasonic, that Magneto blows up. I've won a couple games. Just wanted to make sure I share that. Super Skrull is another rad card. He's pretty much going to suck up all the oxygen in your opponent's ongoing cards. So let's say they have Iron Man, you get Iron Man. If they're playing War Machine, you'll get that War Machine ability. If they have Ant-Man somewhere, you'll get Ant-Man. This can backfire to a degree. You know, if you're trying to do on reveals and they have a Cosmo, you're going to get their Cosmo. Still, it's just another banger card, though, to get you some 4 and 8 cube Ws. Enchantress, the nice little... call her the Hush Girl. So she's going to shut down all your opponent's ongoing abilities. Now, again, it says on reveal. So just for those who are new, because I made this mistake when I first played Marvel Snap, like the first week, 2 years ago. Cosmo will not be triggered. That's pretty much going to stop Enchantress, just in case you're new to the Marvel Snap. But again, if they have Iron Man, you're going to be able to shush that right away. A couple other ongoing cards like Blue Marvel, Khazar. You'll be able to just stop it. And 4 or 5's decent power. We also have Magneto, who we talked about earlier with that Negasonic combo. Now, this has changed a lot because they updated Storm. When I used to play Marvel Snap a lot more, Storm was a 3-cost. She's a 4-cost, so it still works. But ideally, what I would do is I would use Magneto on turn 6 to make sure I win a lane where some opponents have 3 and 4-cost cards to just bring them over to me. Another great, and plus 6/12 pretty strong too. This can backfire if you're already winning a lane, so just be careful when you're playing your Magneto. But again, this guy will help you win a lot of 8 cube games because your opponent may not see it coming. Finally, my new personal favorite card. Now I'm going to give you guys a deck I've been using because I recently picked this guy up last month, and he is without a doubt my favorite banger card right now, Cannonball. So read what he does here with me. Move the highest power enemy card here away. And if you can't, destroy it with a rock. We're going to go right into the deck that I've been using. I call it Rocky Loves Emily. If you're familiar with Rocky Loves Emily, where that came from, please comment down below. I'd love to hear, because it's one of my favorite movies as a kid. I'm sure somebody's got to be my age to know what Rocky Loves Emily is. So this is the deck here at Rocky Loves Emily. So the idea is you want to clog 1 or 2 of your opponent's lanes here. Rocks from debris. You'll be able to use Viper to either throw a rock or hood over there. Hawkeye, female form here, is going to have a nice acid arrow you can drop there, or some other arrows that'll help you out for low cost. I also like doing the Titania. Now, what I like doing with Titania, and a lot of other stampers enjoy doing this, you can also check out KM Best. I found this through his channel. Great Marvel Stamp content creator on YouTube and Twitch. So credit him for this combo that I've found on his channel, is Green Goblin and Titania on turn 4. So if you play Titania and then Green Goblin, you can kind of double dip on your opponent's lane and lock that deck down for good if he already has 2 cards there. Depending on what cards they are. Again, Killmonger can kill some, but the majority of the time that's going to be a nice pinned location for you. Because then on turn 6, if your lane's still kind of open, you can play even something as small as an Absorbing Man for a 4-cost, and then bring that Titania back down to you. We also have Black Widow here. I like this just to put some pressure on your opponent because he's going to have to be forced to play that Widow's Bite, which is, again, to lock down a lane. Doc Ock is one of my other favorite cards. He has been climbing up the ranks because he used to be pull any card, which was always Russian roulette. Now it's more of a safer roulette, and it's going to pretty much pull your opponent's lowest power card. Again, this technically can backfire. If you think they're running Green Goblin or Hobgoblin, that's coming to you. But if you're playing a Destroy deck, get excited like I do, you can go ahead and pull their Aram Zola right away. So it's going to backfire on them because you're pulling X, it's a 6-0, and that card's going to basically do Squadouche depending where you pull it. And then our grand finale here is, we talked about this before we get into it though, is White Widow. So she's going to bop out a 0-4. But want to make sure that you have armor there because otherwise that card's going to get blown up. And make sure you play armor before the White Widow because sometimes I got too excited and I would play it, and before the armor flips, the card's gone. You want to make sure you're paying attention to that. Absorbing Man's just a nice backup. Sometimes you can double bop your Black Widow's Bite. You can also go ahead and sneak in a double Debris. I've done this once in a while, which is also kind of fun to do, is I've actually morphed Absorb into an Acid Arrow and a Green Goblin. Now, again, they're going to get the 4 stats on your card here. However, you're going to be able to clog up that lane. And then finally, our masterpiece, Cannonball, dude. So you got the 2 lanes clogged up. Your opponent's snapped, and he's like, what can he possibly kill me with? He can't do anything. Oh, wait, my other lanes are blocked. Wait a minute. Here comes Cannonball. Bam. Right there. Turns it into a rock if it can't move anywhere. So their top card is gone. Just gone. If you guys do subscribe to the channel, I'm going to go ahead and share a YouTube short on there. It's pretty hilarious. This actually happened last night when I was off stream, but I had to record on my phone really quick. We actually had a game where I had 9 energy, and I actually got to do a Cannonball and Absorbing Man to win 8 cubes. It was quite delicious. So I do hope this video helps you guys create your decks a little bit more crafty. The main gist of this, though, is just to, again, a quick review of all these cards here. All game-changing cards. This is how you're going to win 4 and 8 cube games, because your opponent is more than likely going to know what deck you're playing. But if they can't sniff out some of these powerful cards here that are bangers, the advantage is going to be in your favor. We'll go ahead and give you one more sneaky one just as a bonus if you have made it all the way to this video, which I didn't reveal. Another one I also like to play on turn 6 is Juggernaut. Because again, you can bop his cards out of a lane if you think he's going to, Shang Chi your top card. No, you can push it out of the way. And really quick, the other ones we talked about were Alioth. Want to make sure you have priority, though, to bop him out. And then Red Guardian, which I don't know too much about, but I've seen it used on me a lot. So we're going to try him out a little bit more on my side, but I can tell he's pretty much a 3-5 because you're taking a 2 away from your opponent. So I do hope this video helped you guys on your Marvel Snap Infinite journey. If it does, comment down below and let me know your banger cards. I'd like to hear more about this game. We can all help each other grow and become better snappers. See you in the next video.